Some huge news just dropped that could seriously change the game for science and mathematics. We're going to break down exactly what it is and, more importantly, why you should care.
And look, we're not just talking about some minor update here. This feels like a genuine leap forward, the kind that could signal a whole new way of doing science. So let's get right into what this is all about. So, what's at the heart of all this buzz? Well, it's a powerful new tool, one designed from the ground up for the tough, demanding work of scientific and mathematical research.
We're talking about a major advance in artificial intelligence, a new model that has been specifically built to go after some of the hardest problems out there in science and math.
It's called GPT 5.2, and it's already being called the most powerful AI of its kind. Its specialty, the kind of precision, logic, and abstract thinking that is the absolute bedrock of any technical or scientific field. And the mission behind this thing? It's pretty big, but it's also simple. Use this powerful AI to help scientists explore more ideas, test them way faster, and ultimately speed up discoveries that can help all of us.
All right, but, big claims need big proof, right? So let's get into the hard data and see how this thing actually stacks up against some incredibly difficult tests. So first up, check this out. A score of 93.2% on a test called GPQA Diamond. Now, this isn't your average quiz. We're talking about graduate-level questions in physics, chemistry, and biology that are so tough they can actually trip up human experts who have PhDs in these subjects. That score is wow.
Okay, now this next number, 40.3%, might not sound that impressive at first glance, but trust me, in this world, it's a massive deal. This was on a test called Frontier Math, which is basically a collection of expert-level unsolved math problems. Nailing over 40% of them sets a brand new record for what AI can do in pure mathematics.
And what's really interesting here is how they're getting these results. You can see there's specialized versions. You've got GPT 5.2 Pro, which is the powerhouse that crushed that science Q&A, but then you have GPT 5.2 Thinking, which is the math specialist that set that new record. It really shows they're focused on creating the right tool for the right job.
Look, benchmarks and test scores are one thing. They're great, but the real proof, the real jaw-dropper, that's when a new tool helps you solve something that was, until right now, completely unsolved. And yeah, that's exactly what just happened.
It all comes down to a really simple question, one that feels almost obvious, right? If you're building a model, does getting more data always make it better? You'd think the answer has to be yes. Well, you'd think so, but weirdly enough, no. For years, scientists have actually known that against all intuition, sometimes adding more data can make a model's error rate go up. This bizarre finding launched an entire field of research trying to figure out how and why this happens.
So this whole puzzle was officially laid out as an open problem back in 2019. It set off a ton of research, but a really basic, fundamental textbook version of the problem, that part was still a complete mystery.
And this is the craziest part. The researchers didn't feed the AI a strategy or give it any hints. No outline, nothing. They just handed it the unsolved problem cold and said go.
So the model gets to work, spits out a proof, and the human experts check the math. And the verdict? It holds up. The answer is that in this very fundamental case, our intuition was right all along. More data does mean less error. Just like that, an open problem was closed thanks to this new kind of human-AI team-up.
What this whole story really tells us is that we might be looking at a huge shift in how science gets done. It's all about a new kind of partnership. Think about it. The old way, right? The human researcher had to do everything, come up with the theory, do the grunt work, all of it. Now that whole dynamic is flipping on its head. The human becomes the expert guide, the verifier, who uses the AI to explore ideas at a speed that was just impossible before. So what does this new workflow actually look like in practice? Well, it's a kind of dance. The AI can explore theories and generate proofs on a massive scale. It can build these detailed, structured arguments. But then, the really crucial parts, verifying if it's correct, figuring out what it all means, and putting it into context, that still absolutely needs a human. Human judgment is still at the very center of it all. So, let's be super clear about the big takeaway here. GPT 5.2 is not some robot scientist that's going to replace humans. Not at all. It's a brand new kind of tool, an incredible accelerator for the early stages of research.
The responsibility for getting it right still rests with the human researcher, but the speed at which they can work might be about to change a lot.
And that really leaves us with the most exciting question, doesn't it? With a tool this powerful in our hands, a tool that can help tackle problems that have been stumping us for years, what huge scientific mystery is going to be the next one to fall?